Welcome back, everybody. We have a Facebook video from a Facebook page called Mendel Blazinski. This was posted September 15th, and it's a 3-minute video, and we're going to watch the whole thing.
And this is just I thought we'll do a quickie just giving you, I reference Winston Woodrow Wilson and that particular era a lot and everything that went down. This guy kind of just threw that out there. So this is some history for you. Just we talk so much about what happened here, what's happening here and now. The beginning of it really was back then. So that's what this is.
You guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right? Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, look, I'm sure that was a coincidence, but let me just tell you all the things that were created in 1913. First, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves. It's basically a private bank that just controls all of our money. Second thing created in 1913 was the IRS. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it was created the exact same year that a private bank took over all of our money. Yeah, I'm sure it's a coincidence that that was the year they started taxing you. Like, you work, they print, and then you pay them back with interest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next thing created was the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, and let's be real, that was all about philanthropy. It's not like they took control of medicine, education, science, and basically the health of the world. I mean, let's be real, all they were doing was donating money. Yeah, it's not like they were buying control of everything. Oh, and that worked out so well, right? Because people are healthier and more self-sufficient than ever, right? Oh yeah, also in 1913 was the American Cancer Society. I mean, that sounds like a good thing, right? That can't possibly be bad. Except it was completely funded by extremely wealthy people. But even though it was a charity, they never really gave to anyone. No, they just took their money and invested in pharmaceutical drugs. Oh, and chemo. Yeah, instead of taking that money and investing in companies that were trying to find a cure, no, we'll just invest in companies that use chemicals from the military that were later banned. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep fucking putting into people. Then also created in 1913, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which sure, yeah, it's about civil rights. Yeah, totally. It's not about censoring people or, silencing critics. And then in 1914, we had World War I. And that became the first war ever that private industry profited from war. The private industry that's owned by the same families that created the Fed, the IRS, the Rockefeller Foundation, the American Cancer Society, the ADL. Again, just a coincidence. Oh, I'd also like to point out that a year prior to 1913, 1912, yeah, that was when the Titanic sank. And it's funny how 3 of the wealthiest individuals on that ship were the loudest voices opposed to central banking. Oh, and there's also the little tidbit that JP Morgan was supposed to be on that boat, but he canceled at the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy. That's tinfoil hat talk. So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore.
So, one thing quick. I've heard a lot of what he's talking about with other people, but never all together.
And that's why I thought this would be I've never seen it put all together and condensed for 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Just 3 minutes of putting it all in front of your face and saying, is it really a tinfoil hat when you put it all together back to back to back?
Exactly.
No.
And it doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Like, looking back in retrospect, it seems planned, you know?
An unsinkable ship sinks on its maiden voyage.
With some of the wealthiest people on it.
The ones that were opposed to central banking. And then after they were dead, the following year, we got to have a central bank.
Yay.
That was stopped
maybe not
previously by Andrew Jackson, I think, if I remember right.
So yeah, I think it's important that this guy put all this together because it gives you a timeline with date, like years. Whereas other, shorts or reels that I've watched are just like snippets of, hey, have you heard about this? And it doesn't usually give you a year. It just kind of tells you so you know, like.
I wanted to find out when medicine was captured in the country, because I thought must have been the 50s. That was my thought. It was probably somewhere like that. And when I found out that it was in the same presidency, Woodrow Wilson,
Not
I about
surprising.
flipped. And then when I found out everything that happened with the Rockefellers and medicine, and I wondered why, because I've got books of forgotten medicine. And I asked myself, why was it forgotten?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you ask yourself a question like that, then you always have to then find the answer.
And it was forgotten on purpose.
Yeah, and then if you wanted to say something about it, there would be censorship. So they had to put the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, in place.
So that they could protect against
anybody that wants to say,
against
hey,
it.
what's happening? You're a racist.
Yep, or you're a white supremacist.
Exactly.
Because I asked about medication? Okay. And that's one of the things that I've learned from Chase Hughes. I started following him
Ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Hey! Even though they have been medicines that have saved lives and are over the counter, but they pulled them off the counters during COVID. And then
they're dangerous.
Can't ask about it.
Oh,
can't ask about
dangerous. It's
and
dangerous.
Yeah, what did Chase Hughes say about if you can't ask something?
He said that if you cannot ask questions, it's more than likely a psyop.
We better get our tinfoil hats.
Yep. And he is, if you haven't seen our previous video, we watched the trailer to his episode with Sean Ryan show. And after that, I started getting more Chase Hughes in my news feed, thankfully. I started following him and I see more of his short form content. And that's one of the things that he talked about was if you are not allowed to ask questions and it's not something that's like off the wall crazy, it's a psyop, pretty much. So, and he's, if you don't know who Chase Hughes is, he's a very decorated man in the world of behavioral
science.
So, if you got Chase telling you that, you probably can trust it.
Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like it's just not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank prints. So guys, look, if you're worried about America being conquered or, a rebellion or it being taken over, I just want you to recognize that you're more than 100 years too late. That shit already happened in 1913.
So that's that.
And now you understand why it's taking the Trump administration the amount of time that it's taking to try to free. Everything's been so captured. And then if you want to try to go up against that and resist that, it's bogged down so greatly. Layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. They've had 100 years to put those layers in place. So this is where we are. So if you are afraid that we are, oh, by the way, going to get captured, that happened 100 years ago.
But then that also opens the door to, yes, Trump is president, but how much can you actually do in 4 years?
And that's why Bannon says we need 12. We need J.D. Vance for 8 years after Trump.
And then who comes after J.D.? That's the thing. Sure, we've got two
I don't think we need to worry about that right now. I think that person, well, it was supposed to be Charlie Kirk. I don't think that person will even be revealed for a while.
The other thing that I don't think is great is that we're just going to get smashed in the primaries with how things are going right now. I don't think that enough is being done.
No, and that's why
I've become hopeless, I think, to put it bluntly.
Don't be hopeless yet.
I think that we are. I don't think we're recoverable.
Don't be demoralized, because then they win.
I honestly think it's going to end up just being like we have to have a civil war for things to go back. It has to be
We're very close to that right now, and that's the powers that be have been inching it that way. So
I think enough people are just done with being lied to, and I think it will spark enough outrage that they'll just say enough is enough and feel like their righteous anger is a permit to just say F it all.
And I am not at the place of being hopeless at all. At all. We've lived through a lot in this captured time. And I've lived through a lot. If I lived through 2008 and losing everything but our house, and I believe that that attributes to, of course, losing a marriage, because I think that, you know, you're never going to hear me talk about my ex, because that's not what I'm going to do. But I say that because I think that that's when he lost himself, when he lost his business, and which attributed to the end of our marriage. So I can say I lost a lot from 2008, but here I am. So
true.
With God, all things are possible. Never forget that. He can flip
Definitely
this thing on a dime. And when we're feeling hopeless or demoralized, then we need to look up.
True, he can flip it on a dime, but also with free will involved, he probably won't.
Will he? We don't know.
And with as terrible of a nation as we are, I don't think we're even deserving of it.
Get the Bible. Let's end this thing.
All right.
Let's see what God says.
We're in Proverbs again.
Oh boy.
Gotta get my drink out of the way. And I pointed to, I'm under chapter 24, and it's verse 8. And it says, if you are always planning evil, you will earn a reputation as a troublemaker. Any scheme a fool thinks up is sinful. People hate a person who has nothing but scorn for others.
God's got his eye on the people that are doing this. Period. And we know he's got his eye on them. So then our prayer is, extinguish the evil.
Pull back the curtain. That's my prayer.
And save our country.
Pull back the curtain and show us the truth. Allow us to see the truth. And I think that's what's going to happen.
In Jesus' name.
Candace will find the truth about Charlie. I fully believe that. In fact, she goes on in 1 minute, and I am very excited to go watch that.
Me too.
And I think her finding the truth and exposing it all will set us free. That's what I think. It will be the catalyst for actual true freedom and transparency in this country again.
And I'll believe that with you, honey. Until the next one.
Till the next one.
Bye.
Bye.